If we can kind of take a look at some of those MDOT cams, or maybe they're down. I'm not hearing anything from the producers, so okay. Sounds like we don't have any of that kind of information. So anyway, here's a look at those rotations. There's one right there, and here's another one. Looks like over towards Bay St. Louis, crossing over into Shoreline Park. Again, look, a new scan coming in. Okay, there's that other couplet. Here's the other couplet, 603. The Kill, and here's this one around Shoreline Park. Here's Diamond Head. Well, I'm going to zoom in a little bit more on this this one over towards Shoreline Park. Kind of get in a little bit closer. So there's I-10. Here's a circulation. It's continuing to lift off towards the north, and that's heading over towards Diamond Head as well. So Diamond Head and the Kill, again, need to be taking your tornado precautions as these clusters or these thunderstorms continue to roll on through into the area. Let's take a look at the velocity, or at least the reflectivity again. Again, we're really starting to see this rain band and really kind of consolidating over into western Harrison County and Hancock County. And that's really the area that I'm concerned about for the flooding and the tornadoes over the next couple of hours or so. So we're really going to kind of hone in on that area. And again, that's not to not be looking at other areas like Jackson and George counties and Harrison County and Stone County and Pearl River County. We're watching the whole area, but we're noticing the radar trends are showing that this kind of setup where these thunderstorms from the rain bands are going over the same areas, they keep on training, that's a recipe for flooding. And you have to throw on the tornado risk on top of that. And then you have to throw on the storm surge risk on top of that. And all that's going to kind of come together for this area tonight. So again, if you live in those low-lying areas where it floods very easily, you may just want to kind of consider about this, or just kind of keep a very close eye on it, as Ida really is just kind of crawling up towards Hammond now. Looks like it'll be going over towards Highway 55 there. So we're going to continue to watch this, but let's head over to the news desk, and maybe we have some new information to report.
Eric, thank you for that update. And as you said, we are honing in there on Hancock County, where conditions do appear to be deteriorating quite rapidly. We have some tornado warnings, as you said, in effect over there in Hancock County. And so we are going to be speaking to Brian Adam, who is the EMA director over there in Hancock County. Mr. Adam, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Can you tell us what you're seeing out there tonight as the weather continues to deteriorate over in Hancock County?
Just what you said, the weather is definitely deteriorating here in Hancock County. We're seeing a lot of rain, seeing a lot of water being pushed in by storm surge, and just seeing a lot of, hearing of a lot of potential tornadoes. We have not seen any yet.
As someone who's working in emergency management here in the midst of this massive major hurricane, you said you're seeing a lot of wind, a lot of rain, and then of course they do have the potential for spin-up tornadoes. What is your biggest concern right now?
Heavy rain and storm surge. Hancock County, as most people know, is very low lying, and that's a major concern with us.
So the heavy rain, I'm sure that adds to the storm surge and the flooding there in that area. Any advice for residents right now in Hancock County?
Stay in until this thing is completely over. Don't get immediately after. Wait till we can get the area assessed and make sure everything's safe for everybody to go out.
I know the conditions there where you are right now are quite bad. What is the status of emergency response there over in Hancock County?
Most of the emergency responses, we still have some teams still operating if the conditions are safe. For the most part, most of it is shut down.
When do you predict, just for the residents there living in Hancock County, that emergency services will be able to resume?
As soon as the wind dies.
Okay, Mr. Adam, thank you so much for joining us here tonight on WLOX in the midst of Hurricane Ida. We wish you and all the residents there in Hancock County the best as you continue to ride out Hurricane Ida.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we also have reporters who are still out there in the field bringing us the latest images of Hurricane Ida and how she's affecting us here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. So we're going to go out live now to our Michael Dugan, who is in Biloxi. Michael, it looks like a lot of wind and rain out there tonight.
Hey, Allison. Yeah, we're right outside the Hard Rock Casino, standing just under the giant guitar just outside the entrance. And the wind has picked up a little bit. It was not raining for the last 25-ish minutes. It's just now started, only a little bit. You can see at my feet, I'm standing in a little bit of water. About 10-15 minutes, this area was dry. And I'm going to slowly and carefully walk toward the corner here where the sidewalk meets the entrance with this little crosswalk in front. You can see the water get a little deeper. It's about ankle deep. And then once you get to the sidewalk, which is about where I'm approaching, it gets about shin deep, about halfway between my ankles and my knees. And then as you keep getting closer, it keeps getting deeper. The water, about a half hour ago, 40 minutes ago, when we arrived here, stopped maybe 20 feet in front of this tree, right in front of the entrance on Highway 90. And it's now made its way almost to the overhang. It's about 20 feet short of that. And it's definitely coming in this way. We can feel the wind come in pretty much straight from the east, straight from pretty much where Harrison County and Jackson County meet from the Golden Nugget. And the water's blowing this way. And it seems to be gathering at a moderate pace right now. And as the wind picks up, this is going to get a little deeper. It's flooded into the roads. It's completely crossed Highway 90 behind me here. The entirety of Highway 90 is completely covered for, I want to say, close to 100 yards, 75 yards to about the Mary Mahoney sign behind me. So we're going to take our car and keep going east where we can get there safely and see what's going on near the Golden Nugget, the Palace Casino. Those areas were prone to flooding, are prone to flooding rather, and they flooded.
Southeast, right over base of Willis. You see some down there, California, big white spot there. What's the speed on there?
And there's a lot of rain. That wind is piling up the water here on Highway 90. This is about as far as you can go, right at the edge, right at Church Avenue here. It's just west of the Pass Christian City Hall. It is. This is one dramatic scene here. You can see that the lights are still on, but that illuminates a lot of the water, the rain that's coming through. You can get a sense of how fast that rain is moving by just watching that rain go by the traffic, the street light here. We just had a high water rescue come by to check on us to make sure we're okay. We will be okay in just a little while. We will be leaving not to get to some higher ground. But we did hear of a high water rescue earlier this evening in Pass Christian. And we were told that there were two people in a truck who attempted to go through some deeper water. And, they got stuck in the water and had to be rescued. But we're told by Pat Sullivan, the Harrison County Fire Chief, that everything is okay and they're all right. But we will be leaving and getting out into a higher ground right now. But right now you can see it's just the water is just piling up. The wind is getting worse, might get worse before it gets better. Reporting live at Pass Christian, Mike Lacey, WLOX News Now.
My goodness, Mike Lacey, stay safe out there. Those are some incredible images, and he is over in Hancock County where our Eric Johnson talked about earlier. The conditions over in that area are deteriorating. A lot of wind, a lot of rain, and of course the chance for some potential spin-up tornadoes. The situation is very dire over there in Hancock County. We're going to go now to our Hugh Keaton, who is live in Gulfport in our WLOX Storm Tracker with a look at what the conditions are like out there in Gulfport. tonight. Hugh, what are you seeing out there?
Yeah, we're on Highway 90 here, as the sign that you're looking at says, at Highway 90 and Woodward Avenue. The sign just barely hanging on. It's been blowing in the wind for the last several minutes. And take a look here at Highway 90, this part of Highway 90, just west of the Island View Casino, now a part of the Mississippi Sound, essentially, as that water is rushing across the road. Right now, where you're looking, just the south or the eastbound lane is covered with the water. The north or the north side of the westbound lanes, as you can see, clear of the water right now, but the water continues to get higher, and we've seen that as we've moved. We started out earlier, we were reporting from Hancock County, and we've had to slowly move back eastward, back towards Gulfport and Biloxi, and it's been a difficult drive on Highway 90. We are in the WLX Storm Tracker, built for events just like this, and it is able to give you a good picture of what's going on. As there you see the video of the palm trees blowing in the wind and the water storm surge rushing up onto Highway 90. This is similar to what we've seen all across the coast tonight here on Highway 90. I was talking with George Bass, the mayor of Long Beach. He was actually just taking in what was happening, and we stopped to talk to him just a little bit ago. He actually said that so far in the city of Long Beach, the damage has been minimal. He said as far as damage goes in Long Beach, he's only gotten reports of 4 trees down, and I talked to him about 30 minutes ago. So that was a bit of good news there as far as he thought. So this is what it looks like. It's not easy to move around South Mississippi. That's why you see no cars out on the road. We've seen very limited traffic out since we've been driving around. I'll send it back to you there in the studio, reporting live in the WLX Storm Tracker. I'm Hugh Keaton, WLX News Now.
Thank you so much, Hugh. And as you saw, all 3 of our reporters out there were on Highway 90 positioned there, and you can just see how much rain has come up over that highway. Very dangerous conditions in terms of driving. Don't do it tonight. We are now going to our meteorologist, Eric Johnson, for an update. Eric?
Yeah, so we have another tornado warning in effect for Hancock County, and this does include the Kill and Diamond Head. And there is a little couplet moving over Diamond Head right now, and it's about to move back over into the Kill area. So there is a tornado warning in effect for the next 30 minutes or so, and we're seeing these little couplets here. It's winds gusting up to 63 miles per hour, at least with that area of rotation as it continues to lift off towards the north and west. And I don't know if we still have that tower cam in Max 1, but if we do, can we still pull that up? Okay, so this is going to be in Waveland, and this is just south of where that rotation is, but we've seen lots of heavy rain, strong winds in this area. This, I believe, is on Highway 90 and Waveland Avenue. And we were watching this tower cam earlier. The wind was just blowing sideways, all the rain earlier, as that strong rain band, the same one that has prompted this tornado warning, is also causing at least this heavy rain here at this intersection of Highway 90 and Waveland Avenue. So let's go back over to Max 2 if we can and look at the radar. And again, that's that rotation. We just got a new scan on the radar, so we can kind of zoom back in where that rotation might be. There's the Kill, and there's our little area that we're watching. I will say it looks a little bit weaker. I mean, it was in the 60s, but now it's in the upper 50s. But with these tornadoes and with these quick spin-up tornadoes in tropical systems, they happen very, very fast, and they last only seconds. So earlier today, I've said this several times, but in Gulfport today, we had one touchdown in Gulfport. It was on the ground for just a few moments, but it did knock down some trees and did some roof damage in Gulfport. So these little quick spin-up tornadoes in tropical systems, you can't really see them. They're wrapped up in heavy rain. And of course, it's dark, so you don't want to take your chances of just poking your head outside thinking you can see one of these. You're not going to be able to see it until it's too late. You want to go ahead and take your tornado precautions for the Kill. This rotation will be crossing Highway 43 very, very shortly, because it's moving towards the northwest at about now. Earlier, they were moving at about 65 miles per hour, but now the new forward motion is about 45 miles per hour. So that is a little bit slower. I will say over into Pass Christian, I have noticed maybe there is maybe somewhat of a couplet there around Pass Christian and up into Cuevas there, it looks like maybe some kind of rotation, maybe about to cross St. Louis Bay or Bay St. Louis. And again, that is something we'll have to keep a very close eye on. This is very close to the Wolf River area. Here's SB Avenue, and there's downtown past Christiane, the harbor there, and there's a new scan there. So there might be some kind of a circulation about to cross over from Cuevas, just north past Christiane, over into Hancock County again. And that's just going to be the case with this this kind of setup that we're looking at. It's just going to be just nothing but these rain bands with quick spin up tornadoes, and you can see that this actually goes out quite far now. Look how wide I've kind of moved out. Look at all the moisture. This fetch of moisture goes out a very long area. In fact, let's just kind of measure how far out this moisture goes. Almost 200 miles is this rain band that just continues to wrap around Hurricane Ida. This is why we're concerned about the flooding potential in South Mississippi, because as the center of Ida lifts to the north and eventually starts to turn off towards the northeast, this rain band is just going to start to move into South Mississippi, and it's really going to cause a lot of flooding issues. It's going to cause a lot of problems with flooding, with the storm surge on top of that. And I will say, if you live along the Jordan River and maybe you didn't get out of those low-lying areas, but there is the river flood warning is in effect for the Jordan River, and it will be cresting at major flood stage as we go into tomorrow night around 10.5 feet. So that certainly is significant for the Jordan River. And of course, there are some other preemptive river flood warnings across South Mississippi for much of the area. So here's a look at that rain band. Again, it's really starting to consolidate there, but I will say I'm starting to notice some new development just south of Jackson County, just south of Petty Boy Island and south of Horn Island. We're seeing maybe some new development, maybe another rain band trying to develop and trying to move over to Jackson County. So that's something we're gonna have to watch, where Jackson County may have not gotten the heaviest rain or the strongest winds today because of the way that Ida is set up. Remember, with the hurricane, the closer you are to the center, the stronger the winds are going to be. Even though South Mississippi is on the right side or the east side of the circulation, it's really up to an extent of how far you have to be in order to feel the worst of those impacts. And so Jackson County is sort of a little bit been far enough towards the east where it's kind of escaped most of the impacts today, but that doesn't mean we're not going to see any more as we go into tonight and tomorrow morning. And again, we're looking at the rain band that continues to move into but Hancock County and Harrison County, and also into Pearl River County. And those are the areas that we're really going to hone in for the potential for quick spin up tornadoes. And again, that's going to continue okay, well, here we go. Remember that circulation we were just watching in past Christiane? Well, they issued a tornado warning for that. So that is now it includes Long Beach, past Christiane, up into western Harrison County, and that extends over into Hancock County and Pearl River County. So additional tornado warnings in effect for those locations. Let's go ahead and take a look at the velocity. And there it is, that little couplet we were just watching. Let me zoom in on that. There's DeLille and Whitman Road. That's where the bridge goes over over into the Wolf River. Let me slide over to the last frame here. That'll be our couplet. And let's put a little plot on there. So here's Kill DeLille Road, that's high 10. So again, that's our couplet. That's why there is a tornado warning in effect for Harrison County, and that's going to be for areas west of Highway 49. A new scan just came in. Looks like that circulation is now even further and closer to the Hancock-Harrison County border. So that's heading up into Hancock County now. That's how fast these circulations are moving. Before there's even a warning out, some of these circulations are already out of the entire area. So again, you can see it a little bit better when you zoom out. There's Diamond Head. So this circulation it's going to pass north of Diamond Head and head up towards Highway 603. So probably just north of the Kill is where that circulation is going to go. So go ahead, take your tornado precautions. I will say for past Christiane or over into Long Beach, I don't see any circulations going on right there, but it's something we're just gonna have to keep a very close eye on. Let's go back to our tornado warning map there. They did update the first tornado warning that is north of Bay St. Louis. So they kind of trimmed it back there. So it's basically from I-10 up into Pearl River County. So you need to be taking your tornado precautions. These are, okay, there we go. That's a good update. That one has been allowed to expire. And so this tornado warning that was just issued, that area of circulation crossing over into Hancock County, that's the one that we're going to be watching the most, at least for the next couple of minutes or so until 10 o'clock. Notice that's how long that tornado warning goes for. Let's go back to the reflectivity. Again, the reflectivity or the radar, that shows you how heavy the rain is falling, and we're getting tons of heavy rain with this rain band. I don't know if we have we still have maybe our shots maybe from Long Beach or, okay, so this is the one from Waveland there. I believe that is Waveland. Where is this at? Okay, Highway 90 west of 603 over in Waveland. Okay, so we're not seeing as heavy of the rain, but you can certainly see the wind kind of shaking the signs there on the intersection in Waveland with those rain bands rolling on through. So that's some very heavy rain. I don't know, where is our storm tracker? We still have our storm tracker in Hancock County? Okay, so this is Long Beach. So are you telling me that this view is in Long Beach? Okay, so that rain band that we've been talking about that's impacting Hancock County, it is also beginning to impact parts of Harrison County as well. And you can see the wiper there on our storm tracker cam, but you can see the flooding. So storm surge is really starting to become an issue. So this is just a multi-impact event across South Mississippi where we are going to have heavy rain and flooding from heavy rain. We're going to have storm surge is what we're seeing, the strong winds, and we're getting tornadoes across the area. So this will be a long night across South Mississippi. And again, you can see the strong winds are really driving in the water, and those rain bands are dumping very heavy rain. Again, that's over into Long Beach. That's sort of on the eastern edge of that rain band that's starting to cause so many problems over for Hancock County. Let's go back to the radar and let's kind of show you again what's happening. So we were just looking at Long Beach. That's about right there on the map with those tornado warnings. That was for Pass Christian, and that I will say the circulation has passed north of Pass Christian. It is now moving over into Hancock County as far as the rotation goes. Let me put the rotation on again. And I will say maybe it's kind of weakened just a little bit, but we don't want to let it guard down. As long as there's a tornado warning, we just want to keep at least stay vigilant. But I can see that little circulation is now just south of Dido. In fact, oh, there's a new scan there. So there it is. That's where that circulation is. There's Dido. So you can see how fast, in just a couple of minutes, that circulation was on the coast in Pass Christian. And now within just about 5 minutes or so, it is near Dido. And you can see the winds. Meteorologist Carrie Duncan is plotting, and they're not as impressive as they were just a while ago from the circulation when it was closer towards Pass Christian that prompted the tornado warning. That's whenever it had those winds around 60 to 65 miles per hour. But now the winds have come down just a little bit. And that means that, yeah, it is weakening a little bit, which is expected, as the best opportunity these rain bands are going to have to produce tornadoes is when they come on just on shore and they encounter that friction from land, and that's when they start to spin up. So you can see how it started there over past Christian, it crossed over towards DeLille, and then moved over towards Diamond Head, and now it's south of Dido, and that's why we just need to take these tornado precautions seriously, because again, they're going to last a long time. They're going, or at least we're going to be in this pattern for a while, overnight tonight. And of course, these winds down here that we're looking at just off the surface, again, 50 to 60 miles per hour, and over into Pearlington and into St. Tammany Parish, we're looking at winds just above the surface, and some of that is reaching the ground anywhere from 80 to 90 miles per hour. And so again, Hancock County is more in the core of the winds of Hurricane Ida than Harrison County or Jackson County. And you can see how much the winds increase as you go towards the west, closer to the center. Almost 100 miles per hour just above the surface versus 25 miles per hour just above the surface, using the radar to plot the estimated radar winds with this. You can also argue that maybe there might be another little circulation just off the coast of Waveland there that's about to cross over into Bay St. Louis. So another one, there's Cat Island, there is Ship Island here. And so that little circulation. We'll have to watch that. Let's kind of scroll back up and kind of take a look at that circulation just south of Dido again. And again, it doesn't look as impressive as it was, but it is going to be crossing Highway 63 and crossing over into perhaps once it crosses 603 and then moving maybe over into Pearl River County, which again is actually in part of the tornado warning. So I'm just going to plot really quickly the actual tornado warning maps again, just to get a clear picture of who's in this warning. Again, even though we have Long Beach and Pass Christian in the warning, I would say that the warning is probably more now north of I-10. South of I-10, it looks like the threat has diminished as that circulation has moved off towards the north and towards the west. So again, we're going to continue. What's that? Is that what it says in the warning text? Okay. Okay, so you think it's not the circulation that's moving over and there? Well, there's a circulation that is moving over into Hancock County, and then yes, there are other circulations that are just off the coast of Harrison and Hancock County. So they may be just keeping that tornado warning up just in case, as that circulation now looks like it'll be crossing right over the Bay St. Louis Bridge. That circulation, we were just looking at that, and it was right over towards Cat Island, and now that circulation is moving up into the Bay St. Louis Bridge. So definitely lots of rotation in these thunderstorms, and we're just going to continue to see that overnight tonight with these rain bands as they pivot on through, and the rainfall amounts are just going to continue to add up across the area because we are under a flash flood watch, we're under a tornado watch, we are under flash flood warnings. Notice the flash flood warning in the green box for Hancock and parts of Harrison County. And again, those rain bands will just continue lifting off towards the north and towards the west. Now over into Jackson County, we're starting to see some heavier downpours over into Pascagoula. And just towards the southwest of Pascagoula and Escatawpa, or southeast of Escatawpa, we're seeing heavier downpours beginning to develop. Not seeing too much rotation in these at the moment, but again, that's something we're just going to have to keep a very, very close eye on. Let's kind of get a wider view of everything that's going on and looking at the reflectivity of the actual hurricane itself, just a wider view. And we can see that there's the hurricane and there is Ida continuing to move up I-55. And those rain bands are just going to continue to lift off towards the north. So we're going to keep a very close eye on that. So we're going to head over back to the desk. Maybe we have some information from other areas.
Eric, we do have some information from some other areas, and that information will come from our Hugh Keaton, who is live in the WLOX Storm Tracker along the Gulfport Long Beach line. Hugh, can you tell us what you're seeing out there tonight?
Yeah, okay. We are just off of Highway 90. We pulled off of 90, and this is in Gulfport. Actually, we're on 42nd Avenue in Gulfport. We're heading back south towards the beach. And the image that Eric saw just a little bit ago of Highway 90 with the water totally covering the road was actually right there where the Waffle House is, west of the Island View Casino. And now we're coming back on Highway 90 right now. You see some debris on the road, and here's where I'm trying to see what we're going to be seeing up here when we get to Highway 90 myself for the first time. This is just actually, if we want to stop here, the stop sign, and you can see, yeah, you can see the water really rushing over Highway 90, now covering both the eastbound and westbound lanes. And we're putting, you see right there, it gives you a clear marker of our location, 42nd Avenue and Highway 90, and the waves crashing up. We've seen this throughout the night. When those waves hit the seawall, they really crash up. And now you see those lights. Power, we do have power here where we are in this area of Gulfport. Now looking back to the west to give you a better idea of where we are. This is a hotel. This is a new Holiday Inn Express. This hotel was actually closed for a long time because of damage from Hurricane Zeta. It was a hotel under another name. It closed because of damage during Hurricane Zeta. It just recently reopened as remodeled Holiday Inn Express. There are cars in the parking garage of that hotel, and that hotel is open tonight. A lot of the hotels we passed have been closed, and all of the other businesses have been closed, including the Waffle House that is just to the west of that hotel. The Waffle House was closed, no cars in the parking lot, and that's a good thing because the parking lot was covered with water. You see the water really rushing across Highway 90, almost looks like a river right here in this spot where we are in this area of Gulfport. So that gives you an idea of what the conditions are like out here tonight as we are continuing to make our way back to the WLOX studios. As we have been, we were in Hancock County for a big portion of the night, and now we're continuing to drive back to the east the best we can, but it's slow going, as you can see out here right now. Allison?
Thank you. And now we're going to show you right here. This is new video from Biloxi. It's actually from the Hard Rock Casino, the parking garage there. You can see all of that water that we saw earlier on Highway 90 now flooding that parking garage, flooding the ground floor at least. This is something that we also saw with Hurricane Zeta. Right here, this is a live look at Highway 90, 603 over in Hancock County, one of the NDOT traffic cams. Thanks for joining us here on WLOX. We will be back in just a few minutes for your news at 10 o'clock.
This WLOX News Tropical Weather Update has been sponsored by Egan Insurance. Family to family, business to business since 1954.
Have not, but Lee, things have been extremely hectic for us, and I know it's been hectic for them, and the weather has just not cooperated at all. So we haven't even been able to get firefighters located close to that area to go out and look without putting them in harm's way. So I'm sure